Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn about arrays. Okay. Now, before I explain you why an array is used, let us take an example and learn from it. Okay. Let us say that there is a student by the name Anita and she has scored these marks in these subjects. Now, I want to store these marks in variables so that I can perform operations later. Okay. Now, one way to do it is like this. Alright. So, I can create separate variables for various subjects and then store values in them. Okay. So 98, 96, 88, 90 all are integer values. So I'll say int everywhere and store separate marks in separate variables like this. Now, this is only for one student. Imagine there are 100 students. Then you would have to create 100 into 400 variables like this to store all the marks. Now that becomes tedious and it also becomes confusing while working on it. And that is why we use arrays. By creating an array, we can store multiple values in a single variable. Okay. Up until now, we have been storing single value in a single variable. If you see here, 98 is stored in this variable and only 98 is stored in this. So one variable, one value. But in arrays, you can store multiple values. Okay. Now let us see and let us create an array. Okay. So we create array like this. First we mention the type of data that we will be storing in the array. So you can see that all these belong to integer type and so I have mentioned int. Okay. And then we give a name to the array. Just like we give a name to the variable, we give a name to the array. So let me say Anita marks. Okay, Anita marks. Now this is the name of my array. And inside square brackets, okay, inside square brackets, we have to mention how many values will be there in the array. So here, if you see, I will be storing 1, 2, 3 and 4 values inside the array. So inside this square bracket, we have to say 4. Okay, we have to say 4. Now this is my array declaration. And now I have to mention the values or I have to add the values. So that is between flower brackets. Okay, that is between flower brackets. So what do I want to add? I want to add 98. Okay, and then I want to add 96 and then I want to add 88 which is a mark of English and then I want to add 90 which is marks of Hindi. Okay. So this is my array. Alright, this is my array. And as you can see, instead of typing this much, we have used or created an array and achieved the same thing using single line. Okay. 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 values are stored inside this array. These values of array are called as array elements. Okay, array elements. Now here let me have a print statement. Okay, I'll say printf and percentage d. So if I want to print math mark of Anita, then what should I say? Anita math. Correct? Anita math. This is how I will be printing it out. So let me run it and you can see I get this 98. But then how do we access these elements? How do we access these elements? Or let us say I want to print this mark. Okay, I want to print this marks out. How do I do it? We do it using index numbers. Okay, now index number starts from 0. Index number starts from 0. So the first element will be having index number 0. Second element will have index number 1. Third element will have index number 2. Fourth element will have index number 3, and so on. Okay. So if you want to access this, then we have to use index number 0, 1, 2. Okay. So let us do that. I'll say print f. Okay, printf, and once again it is percentage %d because we are printing out an integer value, correct? And here I will say Anita marks, and inside square brackets I will say 2. Okay, inside brackets I will say 2. Now when I run it, you can see that I get 88 as the output. Okay, now see, this is different from this. All right, so here we are mentioning the number of elements in the array, which is 4. This is used to access the elements. Okay, so don't get confused by this and this. All right, this and this. Now if I want to access this is in position 2, correct? 1, 2, but then index number will be 0 for this and 1 for this. So if I want to access second element, I have to use 1. So let me run it, and you can see I get 96. Now what if I give 7 here? Okay, 7. I only have 4 elements, meaning index number till 3. But if I say index number 7 and if I run it, I get a random number. Okay, I get a random number. That is because I have numbers only till 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 index number. So any value above 3 will get me a random number. Okay, so even if I have 4 here and if I run it, I will get a random number because there are no values here. There are no values to be accessed. So maximum that you can go here is up until 3. Okay, up until 3. So 3 is the last value. All right. Yes. So now let us say you want to modify the value. Okay, you want to modify the value. So now you have got 90, which is this, correct? I am accessing the value which is in index position number 3. Let us say I want to edit this. I want to modify this. Okay. So what I can do is I can say Anita marks. Okay, Anita marks, and inside brackets, the index number of the number that I want to change, which is 3 here, and is equal to the number that I want to change to. Let us say I want to change this from 90 to 72. I'll say 72 and I'll end it. Okay. Now I'm printing it out. Let us see the result. And you can see I'm printing 72 out. I can access 72. Now let us say I want to modify this. Now this is in position 1. So I have to say 1 and let me say 13. Okay, and here I want to print the value that is in position 1. So 1, and when I run it, I get 13 modified mark. Okay. Yes. So this is how you can modify the values of an array. Now this is not mandatory. Okay, this number is not mandatory. You can leave it out. You can leave it as it is, but the square brackets are required. Okay. Now if I run it, it works the same way. Everything is fine till now. All right, everything is working. When you leave it blank, the C program will calculate how many elements are there and it will fill up the value by itself. Okay, so it will see that there are 4 elements and it will fill up this value by itself. If you do not want to do that, you can type in 4. Okay, next what you can do is you can create a blank array too. So let me delete this. Let me delete this much. Okay, so here I have created a blank array. I have said that there will be an array with 4 elements and I have not added any elements to it. If you do so, you can add elements later like this. You can use index numbers and add elements to it. So I'll say Anita marks and I'm saying to the 0th index position add the value, let us take 98 itself. Okay, 98. What I'm saying is for this position index number add 98. So that we can do. We can declare a blank array first and then add elements later. Now for position 1 I want to add, let us say 96. I want to add 96. Okay, we can do this. Now if I try to access the value that is in first index position, I get 96. Okay, 96. Now I have added only 2 here. You have to add 4 because you have declared the number of elements to be 4. But what if I do not add any values further? What will I get if I say 2 and 3? I get 0. Okay, the first element of this array will be 98, second element will be 96, third element will be 0, fourth element will be 0. Okay, so why are they 0? Because I have said that the array will contain 4 elements, but then I have mentioned the values of only first 2. So third and fourth element will be taken as 0. Okay, that is what you can see I am able to access from this. Alright, so I hope this is clear. Now you can create a blank array like this. You can create a blank array like this and then take input from user and add the value to the array. Okay, so I will say here scan f. Okay, or let me say printf first. Okay, printf enter, I'll say enter 4 values. Okay, I'm saying enter 4 values to the user. Now what I want to do is I want to scan 4 values. So I'll say percentage d because I'm expecting integer values, and here I will say comma. I will use AND symbol because I want to send it to the array, and I'll say Anita marks, and the first value that the user enters should go to 0th index position. Okay, so this is how I take in the values from user and store it into the array, store in the array. Okay, so now let me quickly copy and paste it 4 times. So the second value that the user enters must go to first index position. The third value that the user enters must go to second index position, and in the same way. Okay, now after this let me print it out. Let me print the value. I'll say printf and let me print out the value that is in position 2. Okay, position 2. All right, so let us see how this works. I'll hit run and it says enter 4 values. I will enter 98, 77, 85 and 09. Okay, now all these values 1, 2, 3, 4 will be stored in the array, and what I am printing out is the value that is in second index position. So 0, 1, 2. Second index position is 85, and that is what is printed here, 85. Okay. So like this, you can take in the input from users and add it to the array. Okay. Now you can also use loops. You can also use loops with array. So let me show it to you. So let me say for, okay, let me say for, here let me create an array. Okay, I will say 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So I have created an array with 4 elements, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Here I'll say for I equal to 0. Why is this I equal to 0? Because the index position starts from 0, correct? So that is why I'm saying I equal to 0. For I equal to 0, then I less than 4. I less than 4. Why 4? Because we can reach up to 3 only, correct? 0, 1, 2, 3. So that is why it is less than 4. Alright. Then I will say I equal to I plus 1. Alright, I plus 1. Now inside this I will say print f and percentage d, okay, Anita marks and I, okay, I. So let me run it and see the result. Okay, so I'll run it and you can see I get 0, 1, 2, 3 as result. So let me add a new line character here. Not here. Okay, and run it here, and you can see I get 0, 1, 2, 3 in 4 lines. Now let me tell you how it works. Now when the loop starts iterating, in the first iteration I value is 0. Okay, I less than 4, 0 less than 4, this is true, this comes out as true. So Anita marks I is 0 in the first iteration. So Anita marks 0 will be printed out. What is Anita marks 0? What is in 0th position? The number 0 itself. Okay, so 0 is printed out. Next, after this is done, 1 will be added to I. So the new value of I will be 1. Okay, now it will check whether 1 is less than 4. So this comes out as true, and so Anita marks 1 will be printed next. What is in the position of 1? The value 1 itself. So 1 will be printed out, and so the loop continues. Okay, so you can, I will add different numbers, and you can see I get the output as same. Okay, so 32, 22, 63 and 97. Alright, so this is how you can use loops with array elements. Alright, so I hope this is clear. We have to talk about arrays in detail, which we will do in the next video, but for now I want you to go ahead and practice the things that we have learnt in this video. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.